guys, this is Sam bin Amir and I am going to review, not review really, I'm not a person who can review stuff, but I am going to talk about this very famous book called Still Like an Artist. Brilliant book. I've read it, I have recommended it to my many friends and they read it and now they are earning billions of dollars. Just lying, just kidding. Now, this book is very famous by Austin Callion, and disclaimer is this book is all about creativity. You cannot use this information in your academic area of information. Now, academic stuff, you cannot use that in academic stuff. 10 things basically. The author explains 10 things that you need to be creative, but nobody tells you. Now, such a bad thing. People never told you that you can be creative in just 10 points just by reading 10 things. And people never told it's such a bad thing. First of all, the book is Still Like an Artist, and the way we are going to cover it is through, first of all, discussing the main title and basically get the basic and just like a little bit of explanation about how catchy this title is. Then we're going to take these 10 points and going to discuss them briefly in this particular video, and then later on we are going to take each separate point and we're going to go in a little bit of details. First of all, the book is Still Like an Artist. Stealing is bad. Really, stealing is bad. But stealing like an artist, stealing like an artist is a very good thing. Why? Because when a person steals something, it's bad because we are taking that particular thing from the other person without any permission, and we are saying that this is our property. But when you steal like an artist, we consume stuff, and we just not steal from one person, but we steal from many, and then we actually, in our brain, that stuff is remixed. And when it is remixed, new conclusions are made, and those conclusions are what we call it's my creativity. So there is nothing called, like, ideas never come from anywhere. They are inside our brain, and the type of content we consume are the generators. So we have to steal stuff in order to produce stuff, And how come, for example, there is a person called farmer. We call people farmer who actually, grow crops, and they are in the agriculture field. The person in the agriculture field would see everything through that perspective because he has worked all his life in the fields. And, an artist will look at the world through a creative lens. So if we want to be at some point, at some level, whether academically, whether creatively, we have to look at that particular thing as experts look at that particular thing. So artists are the kings of creativity. So if we want to be creative, we want to create this mental habit inside our brain, which actually only artists have, and that can only happen if we steal that from the artists. First point, steal like an artist. Get out of the world, get to the world, get outside of your world, see the stuff and take information as you are an artist. For example, if you're going outside and you see a very young lady, for example a young girl with his parents, and you want to draw them to be creative. So look at them. How come you can actually portray them into a drawing through not only the picture but the emotions of that girl attached to the father and the mother. For example, another particular thing that you can do is through changing perspectives. Jump into people's head, try to think why they are driving these conclusions, why they think the way they think. And this is a very hard thing to do, and it basically takes practice, a lot of practice, but you can master this in a bit of time. When you're talking to a person and you become angry upon that person just because he said something, just don't be angry, but don't use that particular energy to observe and jump into that person's head and see why this person is driving these conclusions, why this person has this perspective, why this person has. And this particular exercise can build this ability when you can steal like an artist, because you are continuously progressively jumping into other people's brain and taking ideas from them and looking at their whole loopholes. You can in fact improve your own knowledge, because you will see yourself while you're driving stuff that you're driving, and then you will see that these are the biases that are actually polluting my conclusion. And then you will research, and your research is going to actually improve your knowledge. Then don't wait until you know who you are to get started. This is a very good thing, basically what I understood from this particular thing is, we always wait. We just love learning, we love planning, we love strategizing. We never become brave enough to take action. And basically in this point, the second point to become a creative person, or second obstacle in the way of creativity, is that we don't take actions, and we just keep strategizing, planning, and relearning the stuff that we have already learned. Fourth point is very, very interesting, and it is as catchy as the book's title is. Write the book you want to read, not the book you want to you would like to write. You want to write about something, just write, man. We all make mistakes, we are all terrible at the beginning, and with the time, as time passes and we learn stuff, we become good. So it actually explains the idea that author explained in the previous point, which is don't wait until you know who you are to get started. Take actions. It means like write the book, start writing the book, even though you have zero to no knowledge, because the biggest hurdle or biggest obstacle in the way to write the book is the first sentence. If you cannot write the first sentence, you cannot write the whole book. Another bad thing that is happening these days is that we are using a lot of screen. We are using WhatsApp, we are using Instagram too much, we are using Twitter, we are scrolling through random data, random information, which is actually highly affecting our creative abilities. Because if you want to generate creative ideas in a particular field, you have to learn about that field in depth, and then you have to come back and look at the stuff in a like an artist, and then you will find ideas that nobody has already discovered. But if you're wasting time on social media and you're just looking through the stuff and you never exercise the ideas behind that particular you have never discussed ideas related to that particular field, you're not gonna get anything, man. Go use your hand. This is the fourth point. Fifth point, side projects and hobbies are important. Man, we all love academic stuff. We all want to get good marks. In that sense, we all love academic, skills, whether we want it or not. We want ourselves to be a doctor or a person who knows a lot of stuff, But at the same time, we forget that we are creative. We want to be relaxed. We want to do stuff that we like, that we prefer doing in our lonely time. So have little small side projects like I am having. I'm actually learning about Islam. I'm doing Islamic studies, but this is my side project. I am actually doing it as a hobby, recording these videos. So having those particular things is greatly important. Geography is no longer our master. There used to be a time when people used to live 1,000 miles, and to reach from one person to another person would take months, not months, weeks. But nowadays, geography is no longer an obstacle. In fact, it is providing us new opportunities. We can actually connect to artists throughout the world. We can look at best speakers from throughout the world, and we can learn directly from them. YouTube is there, Twitter is there. These social media platforms can be used for your good, and if they are used for good, they are good. Be nice. The world is a small town. Be nice. This is very, very famous idea that if you are nice to other people, they are gonna in turn give you respect. If you're giving respect, you're gonna get respect. So basically, this is also a hurdle in your way of being creative. Why? Because if you're not actually being good with the people, they are not going to give you any ideas. So if you want to be creative and you want to get ideas, what you really do, you ask people and be nice with them, and then get the answers. Be boring. It's the only way to get work done. If you don't like getting bored, you cannot do the stuff you want to do. So being bored, be getting bored is one of the key steps to become a creative person. Creativity is subtraction. If you cannot subtract the unnecessary part, you cannot be a creative person. As maybe I don't exactly know, but Pablo Picasso said, art is the subtraction of unnecessary. So if you cannot remove unnecessary information, you cannot be creative.